Namaste friends and Namaste masters. Welcome to day 7 JTTP 3. So far the program went very well. We learned a lot of new things and we are doing a lot of powerful meditation. I once again welcome to day 7 JTTP 3 Journey Towards True Path. My name is Sudhakar. I live in New Jersey. I have been into meditation for around 3 years. In the last 3 years, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of transformation. I went through so many transformation experiences in meditation as well as in real life. Health related transformations, psychological, mental, fear, anxiety. There is so many things to list down what is before and what is not before. So I would not take much time going through my experience. Instead, we'll focus on today's topic, uh, that is Toltec, the 4 agreements. This topic is very important for everyone, those who do meditate, those who are not meditating, those who are working, those not working, because this is a practical guide for a personal freedom in our day-to-day life. We are obligated and we are fear-driven. We want safety and we think so much about future, but we lose our personal freedom at this moment. This Toltec 4 agreements, if you practice these 4 agreements, if you understand and practice, you get the personal freedom right here and right now. You can make your life beautiful just by practicing these 4 simple agreements. So, I welcome you again to Wisdom of Toltec, that is the 4 agreements today. So, we will get some little bit background about what is this Toltec and why he has written these 4 agreements, what is the need for him to come up with this 4 agreements, and then we'll go into those agreements. First we'll understand what is agreement and what are the 4 agreements. We'll see one by one. So what is Toltec? Toltec, it is kind of a community or a group of people living together. We can say they are enlightened people. They know in the physical reality and beyond the physical reality. They know how humans incarnated and how to be happy. There are people living with a wisdom. They call Toltec. They lived in southern Mexico, where there are a lot of pyramids built. They all kind of ancient wisdom they carried. They are called Toltec. They are knowledge people. They lived in southern Mexico. They are Toltec. So before going to meditation, I would like to share my presentation and take you slowly into the agreements. Just hold on for a second. I will share my screen and we'll discuss further about the 4 agreements. So the Toltec 4 agreements is a practical guide to personal freedom. It's very simple. You can do it in everyday life. The smoky mirror. What is a smoky mirror? So I need to narrate a small story about one of the Toltec master. He went through a very transformational experience. Then he realized what is truth, what is illusion, why we are living in a dream state. So just hold on tight, listen carefully, and try to understand his own experience. Once you understand that experience, then it will definitely come to you one day, and you will know what is delusion, what is reality. So please listen carefully. Very brief experience of one of the Toltec master, and why did he call himself a smoky mirror? Around 3,000 years ago, a normal human being like you and me lived in a cave city. He was practicing to become a medicine man, and he was learning from his ancestors' wisdom. And somehow he didn't agree with the wisdom of his ancestors. So one day he went out of the city into the mountains. He slept in one of the cave. When he slept, a great experience happened. He saw himself and his body was sleeping. He saw his body was sleeping, and he came out of the cave on a new moon day, and he saw a lot of billions of bright stars. And he felt his body, he saw his hands, and there happened a great experience. He heard his own voice saying that I am the star and I am the light. And he was just in that state. And later he realized that we usually see that light is emitting from the stars. But he heard that it is not stars are emitting the light. It's light is creating the stars. He realized that light is creating the star. Same thing, the light is creating us. The physical reality is created from the light. And he realized that the space between the stars, it is not empty. The space between the stars, there is information. All the information of the whole universe is in between the stars. That space is not empty. It is a life between the stars. And that life is creating coherence between the space and the stars. We can call it a manifested life. So then he realized that he saw himself everywhere. He saw himself in the water, he saw himself in the trees, he saw himself in the rocks, he saw himself in everywhere. And he realized that the whole universe is one living being. It is not like multiple universe, it is just one universe. It is a manifestation of one living being. We can call that one living being as a god, if you want to name it. So we can say there is only one God. It is one living being with a multiple forms, billions of forms. And he came to a conclusion that the physical matter, whatever we see, the physical matter like people, trees, anything that you see physical reality, it is just a reflection of the light. It is just a mirror which is reflecting the light. And humans, we as humans, we are perceiving that light which is reflected from the physical matter. We are not actually seeing the actual reality. We are just perceiving the light which is coming from the matter. That's all right. So if you want to see me, you have to see the light which has reflected from me into your eyes. If I'm able to hold the light myself, if I'm not reflecting any light, you will not see me. So everything, if there is no light, means nothing is reflected from that object. So if we understand how the eyes and brain work, it is all like, the light is falling on our eyes and the brain is getting electrical signals and it's converting into image, and we are perceiving that image. We are not actually seeing the physical reality. We are just perceiving the reflected image from the matter. He just realized that. And every human is seeing that, but he, as a realized master, he is able to see himself in everything and everywhere. And that he concluded that we are the light, everywhere, and we are the pure love with unconditional love. And he realized that we are that light and we are that love. He realized and he came out of that state, and he was so excited to share this same experience with everybody. And he was with so much joy and peaceful, and he has no judgments at all. And he went to all of his people and he started sharing that they could see that this person is totally changed now. He was not the same person like before. He's trying to explain his experience to others, but they are not able to understand him. But he is able to understand everybody, and he is seeing himself in everyone. He trying very hard to tell his people what his experience, but nobody is able to understand him. And they started calling him, oh, he is incarnation of the god. When everybody started saying he's incarnation of the god, this master said, yes, that is true, I am the god. And he said, you are also god, and we are all came from the one living being that is called god. And they are not able to still understand him even after saying that everybody is a god, because everybody came from the same source. But this person is realized, others they did not realize. And he is like tried hard but didn't work. And he doesn't want to forget his experience, what happened in this those few minutes in the cave. So now what is happening, he is able to see himself in everyone, because when he sees somebody else, he is seeing himself in the other person. When he see a tree, he is seeing himself in the tree, whereas others not seeing themselves in him. That means it's kind of a smoke. If there is smoke in between you and me, you will not see me, right? Something like others are not able to see themselves in him. Then he said, okay, I am the mirror where is smoke around me. That's why others are not able to see themselves in me. Whereas he is able to see everybody, he is able to see himself in everyone. So he called himself, I am the smoky mirror, because you are not able to see yourself in me. So that is why he called himself a smoky mirror. So in reality, we are light, and we are one being. We are one living being. The physically we could be different. Why? Because our perception is not right. We are dreaming. We are in the illusion because of that smoke between the objects. Because you have yet to realize yourself. You are not able to see yourself in others, means there is smoke between you and the other person. That light is not the every physical object is a mirror. It is supposed to reflect a light. It is reflecting the light, but there is smoke between the mirror and you. That is called a smoky mirror. When you remove that smoke, you will see yourself in everyone, and you will know that it is all one living being. It's pure light and pure love. That is a story of, that is experience of one of the Toltec master. That's called a smoky mirror. I hope you understand his experience. What is the reality? What is the illusion? Because we are in the illusion, that's why we are not. You are not able to see yourself in others. That illusion is nothing but a smoke. So I hope you got this point. This is very important. When you realize yourself, you will know that you are in everywhere. You are in everyone. Because it's all one living being. There's only one universe, not multiple are there. So I will show my next slide. So domestication. So now let's come to our 4 agreements. Before come to the Toltec 4 agreements, first try to understand what is an agreement. So agreement is the way of learning on the earth plane. When the child is born, he is pure, he knows nothing. When he started learning, he has to make an agreement in order to learn. Because if I tell, I am Sudhakar, if you agree with me, okay, then you will know that I am Sudhakar. If you don't agree that I am Sudhakar, then you will not know my name. If you tell I am the man, you have to agree with me that I am a man. So agreement is the way of learning on earth. So Toltecs call it a domestication. The humans are domesticated here. They taught how to live here because all the rules and regulations, society, education, the parents, everything is decided. You did not choose your parents. You did not choose your name. As a child, what is that you have chosen? Everything was decided for you because you have been domesticated. Like if you get a cat or a dog, how do you train the cat and dog in your home? How do you make it domesticated? You make the dog or train into hard training, like first few weeks or few months. We try to domesticate the cat so that it will know like what to do and what not to do. Same way, the humans when they're born, they have been domesticated. That means the reality was hidden and you've been told like, okay, you have your name is so and so, and you repeatedly told the same kid like, okay, your name is this, your name is this, like 1,000 times you tell, and the kid will one day will agree that he come to an agreement, okay, my name is this, because I did not choose my name, my parents choose. And when I'm like 1 year 2 years, repeatedly maybe 1,000 times they told my name, then okay, then I made agreement, okay, my name is Sudhakar. And we never choose a religion. We just born in and they told, okay, this is our religion, we have to follow these rules. If you do not agree as a child, what they will do, they'll force you. They'll keep repeatedly tell you, okay, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to believe. That belief system, it starts from your parents and it starts in the society and comes from the education, the school you go, and you will be domesticated as a child, and once you go on up as 14 50, then you will learn by yourself, you start believing things by yourself, because everything was a belief when you were learning as a child. Because when it's, let's for example, let's how we get educated, the teacher will tell you a is like this. You don't know what, when the teacher written the a for the first time, you don't know what is it, and the teacher will say, okay, this is a, this is a, how many times we have practiced a to learn. So when they force that thing on you for repeatedly, then we come to an agreement. Once you agree it, you will start storing that information in your brain. Okay, same thing with your when you go to temple, the priest or pujar will say what have to do. Okay, you have to behave certain way in the temple, and you have to do certain way. These are repeatedly told you, and you believed it. You agreed on that. Once you agreed, okay, then it become your belief. Once you strongly believe it, that becomes your faith. But remember that that is not the truth. It is just a belief. You don't know that it was already there. They just gave that information to you, and you agreed on that. Some Toltecs call it a dream. What happens when you are in the dream? You know the dream is reality. Once you come out of the dream, you know it is not there anymore. Same thing on the earth plane. Whatever the information that is here, it is only real as long as you are here. Once you are out of this and you know, oh, this is not true. The truth is different. Because that's why you say it's called earth dream. Everybody is dreaming here. Because everybody is an illusion. There is a smoke between you and the mirror, where you are supposed to see your own reflection everywhere. Okay, so as we start learning as a child, what happened? You get into a system of punishment and reward, and like, for example, let's say you do whatever your parent has told you, and they say, "Wow, you are a great child. You did a great job today." And let's say you did not agree on to your parents on certain things, and they'll repeatedly tell that even if you rebel on that, they'll try to punish you. Punish in the sense, not physically, maybe in terms of words. No, you are not good, you are bad, you are not listening to me. We start punishing that way. So the kids will get into a system where like there is a reward and punishment. If you listen to your parents, you say good, or you say great, you are wonderful. If you don't do that, and the parent or society or the school will punish you, saying that, oh, you are not good, and you are, have to do better. And we get into that, okay, reward and punishment for everything. And as a kid grows up, he come into the system of punishment and reward. Okay, he will keep repeatedly looking for a rewarding things, and he will come into a judgment mode. Okay, this is good thing, this is bad thing, they have to do, should not do this, I have to believe this, I should not believe this. And in ego society, so many rules are there, and all those rules are stored here in your brain, that become a book of law, what to do and what not to do. For example, let's say we're walking on a road, there are certain rules on the road, how to do and which way to go, which way not to go. All the rules how to live in a society will come into your brain. All the rules, you start saying that, okay, in this situation I have to do, I should not do. This is good, this is bad. A judgmental punishment. This is called a domestication, because that is a belief that is put on us. That is not the truth. That's not the truth, because you parents or society or school or yourself, you started learning things just by assuming, and those all beliefs are stored in your mind. And most importantly, whenever you agree with that, you store it. When you don't agree, you will not store that. So you need to understand, when you agree with others, that becomes your belief. If you don't agree, that doesn't believe. So you can see how people are there. So many religions are there. So many different of educations are there. Everybody believes certain things, and they think that is the truth. That's called agreement. You are making agreement to get domesticated. And once you started growing up, when you become 14, 15, 20, you started making your own agreements. Oh, you can say, oh, I cannot really do this, I am not good for this, or I can do this. You make good agreements and bad agreements. You are always in the state of that agreement and judgment. And these agreements are good. In order to survive on the earth plane, it's required. But how many agreements are you making in your own life? Millions of agreements. And most importantly, there are two types of agreements: the fear-based agreements and love-based agreements. The fear-based agreement will deplete your energy. The love-based agreements will increase your energy. So you should always know what kind of agreements you are making. If you have fear-based agreements, most of our agreements are fear-based agreements when you don't have knowledge about self. So we have to turn our fear-based agreements into a love-based agreement, so that your energy builds up. So we will focus on what is those agreements. The love-based agreements will turn you into a human being, will turn you into go towards the reality, the truth. So that is called domestication and agreement. I hope you understand this agreement concept, because we are accumulation of so many agreements. Whatever is agreed, we stored. Whatever we did not agree, we did not save it. And in the future, make sure what kind of agreements you are making. Is it a fear-based agreement, a love-based agreement? Are you making your self-judgment? Or do you have inferior complexity? See what kind of agreements you're making with yourself and others. So let's move on to our next slide and see what is there. So there are 4 different agreements to turn you into a great human being, and to keep up your energies all the time. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. This is very, very important agreement that everybody should make this. Be impeccable with your word. Let us understand what is impeccable and what is the word. On the earth plane, only humans speak. All other animals, they don't speak. Because the word that is given to us, it's a gift from the God. Are you giving the same gift to others, or converting that into curse, or what are you doing with your words? Is your words really helping others and you, or is it destroying you and others? So our creativity comes through these words. Your thoughts, your intent, your creativity is coming out of the words. So we should be very, very careful when you speak our words. Words are gifts are given by the God. And what is impeccable? Impeccable means without a sin, and that means without a mistake. You should speak without a mistake. Your word should not destroy the others. Your word should create a love and positivity in you and others. When you destroy others, it is destroying yourself, because we are all one living being here. Your word should not become a black magic on others. Instead, it should become a pure magic. You should create a magic in others' life. Okay, I let me narrate a small story how the words can change things when they make an agreement. So you are speaking something, you are making an opinion, or you are making a gossiping about someone else, and if they agree with you and they go with this with some same opinion, even though it is not the truth, even though the other person could be different, if they agree with your own word, if they make an agreement and they take that and they go with that same opinion. Let's see one of the example that can change the people just by the words. So there is a family, the mom, very loving mom, caring mom, and she has a daughter. She's beautiful daughter. One day mom went to office. She had a very hectic day in office, and she came home very late, and she has headache. She's trying to rest at home, and she need the peace time because she has a headache. But at home, her daughter was singing, and she is so joyful and so much excited. She's in the different world. She's in her own world. She's singing, and as the time goes, she's singing a little bit louder. And mom, she is a caring mom, but that day she had a bad headache, and she could not tolerate that extra noise. That day she lost the tolerance for noise, but she also loves her daughter. And after a certain point of time, mom said, like, can you please stop? Your voice is so horrible. It's creating a lot of headache for me. At this point of time, let's imagine if that kid, if her daughter make an agreement with her mom, okay, my voice is so ugly. If she makes an agreement, she will never ever sing again. She will never ever speak again in her own life, because she got in a judgment that my voice is so bad. Oh, if I speak and people complain about that, she'll, if she makes an agreement, what happens? Her life is destroyed from there. She will not speak in public. She will not talk in school. She will never sing in public. She will lose her own voice. So this is called black magic with your words. Be careful when you speak. What kind of words are coming out? What is impact that is creating in others? Are we creating black magic or pure magic? Black magic means, for example, we openly give opinions. As we know, as we grow as a kid, we have seen a lot of opinions about others. Oh, that person, this kind of person, don't go to him. This person, this kind of person, don't go to him. And we make agreement with whatever opinion others are giving. And when you go to with that same opinion to others, you will obviously will have that opinion in your mind, and the way you speak, the way behavior will totally change. It becomes emotional poison in you. And most importantly, the gossips, that very black magics, because they're pure poison creating in the other's mind. Let's say you were going to new school, and you're going to get a new teacher, and the same day you told one of your friend that I'm going to this school, and so a teacher, and that person will say, oh, that teacher is so not, so you cannot really deal with her. And if the new person make an agreement with that, and what happens in a whole year is gone, it will be always there. So we have to be impeccable with our words. The impeccable make there is no sin in your word. We openly give opinions, so make sure you're not doing, make sure what you're speaking, you're aware of that. So that is what, be impeccable with your words in everyday life. So that is about first agreements, friends. And this is most important one. If you practice this in your daily life, 70 to 80%, because when you speak these words, it is coming out of you. You think it is you are spelling on others, you are also creating spell on your own self. The word is coming out of for the first time, it is coming from you, you are creating that impact inside. So that is about first agreement, be impeccable with your words. And the second agreement is, don't take anything personally. So this is my favorite one. Don't take anything personally, because the whatever the other person says, that is his opinion. He is speaking as he was grown up, he is speaking as per his belief system. You don't have anything to deal with others opinion, what others say. So whatever other people do, whatever other people feel or think about you or say to you, don't take it personally. Why you should not take it personally? For example, let's say you are walking on a street, or somebody said, oh, this person is stupid or bad person. How do they know that you are not a good? Do they have clairvoyance? Do they have third eye? Do they see what's happening inside you? It is just his opinion or his own belief system, the way he grown up. That is his one way of saying things. It is not yours. You know what you are inside you. What others say, it is up to them. So that is why we should not take anything personally. If you practice this in your daily life, in your work, in your home, anything that others say, don't take it personally. And second important, don't even take the things which is coming in your own mind personally as well. Let's say you wanted to do something new thing in your life. First thing that come to mind, oh, can you really do this? Can I really capable of doing this? Don't take that opinion personally. Just do that, because the mind has a capacity to deal with itself. Mind has capacity to say things itself. So we have to practice this. Don't take anything personally with others, and also with our own mind as well. If you can practice, don't take anything personally, you can go to any kind of people, you can deal with any kind of people. You can also say, even the public, oh, I love you, and they say something, and you don't really care, because you're not taking that personally, because they don't know what is love. They're not accepting, means he will say the way he's grown up, he will say as per his belief system. So practice this, and your life will turn into beautiful in one day. So that is second agreement, second Toltec agreement. Don't take anything personally. And let's go into third agreement. Third one is don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. So we live with assumptions every day, because I make a lot of assumptions, especially in relationship with our friends and family. We assume things. Okay, my by the time, let's say you went to office and you came home. By the time you came home, you think, okay, the house should be very clean, and she could have cooked something else, and she make some special day today because you had a bad day in home or you were tired at office. We make assumptions. We didn't openly speak, or we don't openly ask. So I want to tell one of my personal experience about assumptions. So I grew up in a village. My parents, let's say some of the events or functions happen, a lot of relatives, friends, neighbors come, right? And they make a lot of assumptions with relatives that, okay, they should do this and they should come and help me, they should give this kind of presents. But they don't express, like they don't ask, but they just assume things like, oh, you could have done this, you could have given that thing, you could have come and help me on this occasion because I'm struggling alone. They just make assumptions. They never asked, they never questioned. So I grew up like this. And after my marriage, so I told my wife very clearly, beautiful wife, I am very lucky to have my wife. And after marriage, I told this. See, do not make any assumptions. Anything that you want, you have to ask. If you do not ask, I'm not going to give you that. It could be anything. If you ask, I will do that. Because I had experience of like my parents making assumptions about relatives, neighbors, and friends. So with that experience, I told my wife, you should not make assumption that, okay, I will do this without asking, I'll buy this presents without asking. I might do it sometimes, but not all the time. If you have anything in mind, you have to ask me. If you ask, I will do it, whatever the cost, whatever it takes, I'll do it. So we have to make this kind of statements when you are in especially in relationships. We assume things for granted. We take things granted. Okay, my wife will do this, my husband will do this, my kids will do this, but we'll never ask, we'll question. So we should have a courage, we should find a courage to ask or express things whatever is in our mind. Especially this makes more sense when you're working. When you're working in a project, you cannot assume things, you have to ask clarification, you have to know what we are going to do. Same thing in life as well. Do not go with just assumptions anywhere or anything. It could be friends or family relationship. Always ask or question or express whatever you wanted. Don't just make assumptions. Or let's say let me give one simple scenario. You are walking on a shopping mall, and the one of the person that you like just passed by you, and he smiled at you and walked away. In this situation, what will happen in your mind? How many assumptions you will make? Oh, I like him, but he didn't talk. Did he like me? I didn't like me? Or what's going on in your mind? We start fantasizing so many things in our mind. We get positive assumptions, negative assumptions. We start building so many things. It is all assumptions. Same thing happens in every day. Let's say you're going to meet some new people. Will start creating. We start imagining. Okay, what kind of people there? What will happen? All assumptions. So please don't make the assumptions. Find the courage to ask or express yourself. If you do this, you will obviously have a personal freedom inside you. Whatever happens around you that doesn't impact you, that doesn't affect you, you will always have freedom inside you. So that is about the third agreement. And the last but the most powerful one, the fourth agreement, always do your best. If you do not practice this fourth agreement, all the first three will become useless. So this is most important one. In order to come into practice your life, in order to have a personal freedom, nothing but a coming out of all attachments, all miseries in your life. Always do your best, and best could be different from moment to moment. Best depends on your state of the mind. If you are sick that day, your best could be little bit low. When you are very excited, when you are at your best could be different, little bit more. If you are positive on that day, your best could be different. So according to you, that day, did you do your best? If you do your best, you will not have any judgment. It could be you could have achieved, or you may not achieve it. You have given your best. Since you have given your best, you will not have any inferior complexity that, oh, I didn't do it, and you will not judge yourself because you given your best. Let's say you did not give your best, you will go into like, oh, I could have done a little bit better. You start judging your own self. Let's say you try to give more than your best. What happens here? If you try to give more than your best, if you try to do more than your best, you will start depleting your own energy, and you will ultimately you will not achieve what you wanted. So don't do less than your best, don't do more than your best, just do your best. That creates a personal freedom in your life. I'll just give you one example what is best, and then I'll stop. So one of the normal human being went to a Buddhist monk to find out his enlightenment. He went to a monk and asked, my dear monk, I want to get enlightened. If I practice 4 hours a day, how many years it will take for me? That monk looked at person for a few minutes and said, okay, if you practice 4 hours a day, it will take 8 years for you to get enlightened. Oh, if I practice 4 hours a day, it will take 8 years. Okay, let's say if I practice 8 hours a day, what happens? Oh, he thought it will come down. Then he asked same question. Okay, my dear monk, if I practice like 8 hours a day, how many years it will take? That monk said, if you practice 8 hours a day, it will take 12 years to get enlightened. Because that is not your best. When you go beyond, if you try to do beyond your best, you lose the happiness inside you. You will not live naturally. You lose your energy, you deplete your energy faster than expected. When you do your best, you will be happy. You have no judgment. That is your normal state. So try to find your best and do your best. Don't do less and don't do more. And practice all these four agreements and see what happens in your life. The personal freedom. So these are the 4 agreements, my dear friends.